Welcome back, everyone. Today, I'm going to talk about how I've had the worst season I've ever had. And since I was getting a top 90 in a Skin Cup at the beginning of the season, and a top 200 in a Dual Cash Cup at the end of last season, I felt really good going into this season and had a lot of high expectations. But I moved to college and I had lower ping, so I thought, oh, I'm going to do absolutely amazing. But my setup feels completely different, and this has kind of ruined my whole season. I've had so many terrible placements, and my fighting and everything feels so terrible. I just can't figure out what's going on. I can barely get 2 kills in rank. It is so, like, crazy to see. I just don't understand what's wrong. So I'm going to be explaining some of the problem-solving things I've been doing, and maybe if you guys are having even close to similar problems, whether you got a new mouse, new keyboard, or whatever it is, trying to get used to a new setup or a new environment or new keyboard is so difficult. So I wanted to kind of go over what I've been trying to do to maximize my performance and try to get back into that same feeling I did before I left. And that's where we start. The first thing I want to talk about is my sensitivity. I have a theory that since I've moved to a new place, I have it's always like 90 degrees in my room, and I have so much humidity, and I believe my mousepad might be a little bit slower than it used to. So for this, I wanted to test a theory, and I changed my sensitivity by 0.1, so it's 4.1 instead of 4 on 1600 DPI. This has felt pretty good, but it's definitely still not consistent. There's definitely something going on with my setup and where I place everything that has really messed me up. And it's one of those things where like I'll have the right position and I'll feel good for like one session, and then when I get off and get on the next session, it feels completely different, even though I put it's in the same spot. So I have no clue what I'm going to do. I guess I'm gonna have to keep trying and trying to figure out that perfect spot, and then being able to like mark that spot off or something would be good, because at my last time it took me a half a year to a year to figure out where my stuff would go, and then I finally started performing well. And in the end, it came down to having to mark my desk off with marker. And some people share their desk, but luckily it was my desk, so I could do whatever I wanted with it. So it didn't really hurt anything else, and it worked out really well in the end. We got those great placements, and we came away with a great season. And this has really hurt me immensely, because I feel like I'm just terrible, because I get destroyed in zone wars and stuff. People are always trash talking me because they think I'm so bad, but like they think it's wild that I have these crazy placements, but it's just because I'm just terrible now, and I used to be good, and I just can't figure out what the issue is. It feels like a completely different game. It doesn't even feel like I'm having fun anymore, because I just lose everything. And some terrible players beat me, and then I'll like move my setup a little bit and be godly for like one session, and then I'll destroy them or get a bunch of kills and do really well in the zone wars, and I'll come back and I'm just the worst player ever, and it's back to the trash talking and crap that I'm used to getting when I play terribly. And people don't believe me when I say it's just inconsistency, it's something wrong with my setup. They don't believe me. They just say terrible, and like there's all this horrible stuff, and I'm sick of it. And hopefully you guys don't have the same thing, but you never know. Hopefully I can be some word to somebody else outside struggling with the same thing as me. Because feeling like I'm really good and then getting on the next day and feeling terrible is just the worst feeling ever. And with controller players, you really don't have to worry about that, because there's so much less variables. And that's why I would say I think controller playing can be easier in some ways than keyboard and mouse, just because it's consistent, you can do it everywhere, and it's just easy to set up. You don't have to plug in 4 different things, have a whole mouse pad, get the perfect mouse pad, get ready, warmed up and everything as much. And I don't know, I might just be yapping, but I feel like other people have these same issues, and somebody just needs to say something at this point, because I've searched it up so many times. Nobody else has videos on this, and some people do talk about how setup and height and everything where your arm is matters in your gaming, but I just can't optimize my setup. And I'm even thinking about buying a new monitor or something that has different height or anything, so I can have a more consistent height, because this is getting ridiculous at this point. It's been like 2 or 3 weeks that I just can't play the game properly. It feels so bad, and making content for these videos is almost impossible nowadays. because I literally can't get a good gameplay because I'm like 10 times worse, and it feels so bad. That's really it, guys. It might have been a yap fest, and it might be feeling bad for myself, but I don't really care. It's just I needed to get it out there because it's so hard for me to deal with this right now. Like, I just don't feel like I'm there anymore, and all that progress I feel like I just wasted. That's really it, guys. It would mean so much to you guys if you liked and subscribed to my video. This was a hard one to put out, so it means a lot. I'm really sorry that the quality of the videos are so bad these days. I'm trying so hard to fix my setup, spending hours trying to figure it out, and I just can't. And I just don't, it's so hard to get any gameplay, so hard to do anything. And it's just even hard to put out these videos trying to get my voice recordings because I just don't know what to say, because I normally have like landmarks of success, like, oh, I did well in this tournament, or oh, I did this. I have stories and stuff to say, but I just have jack shit right now, and it's been hard. So if you guys are struggling, please leave a comment. I want to hear some of your opinions, how you guys might have fixed it or whatever. But that's really it for my video. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I hope you guys stay happy. So goodbye, everyone.